Morning. Michael Califf, author of A Very Broken System. Feeling sick, as probably most normal, decent Victorians that take in a small amount of interest, probably all would. So last year we had 30% increase on the year before's 30% increase. This year, after some heavy doctoring, we're down at 30% increase in the crime stats. Now keep in mind, this all gets washed up and wrapped up and sold to the public in all states, not just Victoria on this one, as progress. Progress would be going backwards in those. Anything negative, basically progress would be going backwards. Not like, hey, we're progressing, hey, we got, hey, look at us. Anthony Carbines and Jacinta Allen are like, yeah, we got 13%, hey, we're progressing. Hello. Anyway, which we always, I can't help but think of Daniel Andrews, this government's introduction or coming into his reign, and what happened there, and I'm going to touch on this is why I'm speaking about it now. I'm going to do a more detailed and point out a few steps along the way of what happened in the system, in all things law and order in the state of Victoria, and how we came to even get Daniel Andrews into office was through the horrible murder of a beautiful young woman by the name of Jill Meagher. Now, Jill Meagher tragically was raped and murdered by a person in Victoria who was on both bail and parole at the same time. Obviously, politicians being politicians, they jumped on that and blamed the Liberal Party, who were in at the time, I believe, for that. Not I believe, they were. The Liberal Party was in at the time, and in effect, they jumped on that. There was two main things from memory that got Daniel Andrews voted in. One was the outcry, the public outcry, the women's movement. The women were up in arms. Where have they gone? Where have all the lefty women gone when we've got crime going through? They had marches. The feminist movement had women marching those streets, calling for blood, and rightly so. Yet here we are with a complete and utter failure upon failure of our crime rate. It's just gone worse and worse and worse, yet we don't hear anything. We don't hear any of the same people that were marching up and down, rightly so too, marching up and down Sydney Road after the Jill Meagher murder. You should be marching up and down more now. Like what Daniel Andrews did, and was he came in, he told you lie after lie about how he was going to make these changes and reduce the women's domestic violence rate and help children not die and make sure women and children are protected and they're not going to get hacked up by machetes, which wasn't happening at the time of that, unfortunately. Fortunately. Anyway, so what Daniel Andrews did with his lies, this is what grinds my gears. What Daniel Andrews and the Jacinta Allens and the Anthony Carbines, who just ignore the media or ignore anybody who question them, what they do with all that perception and tokenism nonsense, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, they waste, in this case, 12 years on properly dealing with the issues. So what we've just been doing is tick, tick, because we were lied to originally. Daniel Andrews came in, he was going to do everything. He's going to open Ravenhall Correctional. Hey, don't forget, Ravenhall Correctional has more cameras than inmates. Oh, that'll keep you safe, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, don't you worry about that. And they come through with all this nonsense to win your vote over, but nothing happens. Now, you who voted for it, you can be forgiven 100%. Because you don't have all these details, you don't have all this knowledge. Nobody's actually told you. No Michael Califf has pointed it out to you. This is what's really happening. You just have been told this. You believe, okay, I think something's getting done about it, but nothing is actually getting done about it. All that is getting done is people are getting paid pretending to be doing something about it. That's literally the situation we are in Victoria, and I will explain that on a more detailed, lengthy weekend podcast. Speak soon.